how's your summer going?
Summer? Is it summer yet? Because the
know.
weather is not telling me that.
I know.
Jeez. It's going good so far. I mean, we're striking.
Right.
Well, the writers are striking and, potentially the actors as well. So, we're not on set right now.
I know.
But, I keep myself busy.
How are you staying busy?
You want to just bring it out?
I don't know.
Well, I'm traveling soon. So I'll be leaving for Europe on the 23rd. I bought a one-way ticket.
Let's go, Europe.
One-way ticket,
baby.
you guys. One-way ticket. That's the best.
No partner, no kids. Bye.
Hey.
I love it. I love it.
And also, I've been in the process of developing my salsa. I've been making it for a while, and I brought you guys some, and it's in the works to get jarred.
Yes.
Yeah.
We cannot wait for that.
I'm very excited to taste it. Why salsa? Like, what is it? What's the thought process behind it?
So I didn't grow up learning how to cook or anything. My dad always wanted us to be in this industry. So my after school activities were dance class, karate, figure skating, like everything you can imagine so I can be prepared for what I'm doing now. And I started commuting from Northridge to Hollywood every day when I was 16 years old, which the 405 is a nightmare. And I was a new driver. And the amount of times I slept in my car on the streets in between auditions because it was just too far. So then I was moved out of my house about 6 months before I turned 18. And I remember growing up, I didn't know what American food was necessarily because we grew up eating frijoles, tortillas, carnes, pollo, salsas, everything. We always had salsa in the fridge, always homemade. So I never had outside salsa. And I was embarrassed. It's funny, we were watching Flamin' Hot. I was embarrassed of the food that I had because I remember I brought burritos to school and little kids would be like, ew, you've probably farted a lot. And it was just embarrassing. So I was like, stop bringing me burritos. And I remember in 4th grade, someone was like, do you want some of my spaghetti? And I was like, what's spaghetti? Like, so it was just like trying to be American. And then so what happened was, when I was moving out, I told my mom, I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm going to go to Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Jack in the Box, and you can't tell me no, because I hated eating at home. I was like, all we eat is Mexican food. And that was very short-lived when I was on my own. And I remember waking up one morning, and I was starving. And I was like, I don't know how to cook anything. And the one thing I missed the most was salsa. Going to Mexican restaurants, I never had it like my house. And so I went home crying. I was like, I need to learn how to make salsa. Like, at least let me start with that, but I need to learn how to cook. So that was the first thing I learned.
Wait, so you learned how to make salsa? How old were you?
18.
Wow.
So I started making it, and like, obviously it wasn't that great at first. I'm like, no me sale, no me sale, no me sale. But I would just make it for myself. I'm like, it's just for me. I don't want everyone to try it. And then, because again, if you meet anyone that went to high school with me, they'd be like, Francia, cooking? Really? I was like, gosh, okay, whatever. So basically, when I got older, friends started coming over and they started tasting. They're like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. And then I started bringing it as like a party gift, like if I'm invited to someone's house. Yeah. And so I brought it to Hilary's house during first season. She invited me to go swimming, and she tried it. She goes, where'd you get the salsa? And I was like, oh, I just made it. And she goes, you made this? And I was like, yeah. And then her son has salsa all over his mouth.
Oh my God.
And she was like, this is really good. And she goes, this is the best salsa I've ever had. She goes, you need to jar this. And I was like, huh? And so she starts telling me like what I should be doing with it. I was like, oh, I don't know. Because to me, it's like,
Was that the first time someone told you you should jar it?
Yes.
Wow.
I had people had told me how good it was, but no one had suggested that. So it like kind of planted the seed. And then she wouldn't stop talking about it. And I'm not allowed to go to her house without it anymore.
Oh my God.
That's a true story. She'll stand in the front door and be like, you got something for me? I'm like, bro, we're not in the streets.
You got
little
the secret.
Juanita, like.
You got the secret
What
sauce.
you know about that? I grew up in Van Nuys. What you know about that?
Oh, dang.
So I talked to my managers about it. And so I had them try it. And what I did, and I was like, you know what? Let's see. So when I did Jimmy Kimmel, and we were just talking about that earlier, it was the first time since they're always giving us gifts when we do those talk shows, So I was like, you know what? They give us gifts. Why don't I bring a gift? So I brought that. And Jimmy tried it after the show, loved it. It was the first time my manager and my publicist tried it. They loved it. And so that's when the conversation started. And so I started doing that more. I started taking it to the talk. Jerry O'Connell, I have a video of him on my Instagram being like, oh my God, this is amazing. Adrian Bailon, Guy Fieri, he told me if I didn't jar it, I was an idiot. So I've been working on it, and I brought you guys some.
Damn!
So that's how that started.
No, I can't wait to try it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. What if
To me, it's just a little taste of home, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of mi raíces.
that's
How
the name
cool.
right there? I mean, I don't know. It's very authentic.
Yeah.
I
Do
taste
you
it
have
home.
a name yet, or
Yeah.
you do?
Salsa raisa.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That is. Oh,